Hey everyone, excited to be back for this week's edition of Frequently Asked Questions for Commercial Real Estate. In today's video, what I want to do is share a unique tip uh, pertaining to Chat GPT that you may find beneficial. This is especially true if you are working with developers or you yourself are working with different types of users and you're trying to identify space for them to occupy. Now, before we dive in this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you can like and subscribe to this channel. That really does help with the YouTube algorithm and ensures more and more people can hear this message and learn about the many facets of commercial real estate. And I've done that. Go ahead and like and subscribe below. Let's go ahead and dive into this episode. All right. So in today's video, what I'd like to show is how you can add a knowledge, add to the knowledge base of your own custom GPT. Now, if you guys don't know exactly what a custom GPT is, it is you can essentially create your own separate GPT that you can then teach to kind of incorporate more of your industry-specific information. So in my case, I created my own GPT, and I've been training it on, information specific to commercial real estate. And so I'm going to showcase how you can add to the knowledge base such that it becomes much more useful for you as you're trying to find out what uses fall under different zoning classifications, because this is something that I know as a commercial agent, I probably look at our land development code for different municipalities almost every day. And so this helped streamline a process for me, which I hope will also help you all in your day-to-day. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so let's go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to our first off, I'm going to explain what we're going to be doing. So in today's video, we're going to focus on land development code for your local jurisdiction. So in my case, we're located in Jefferson County, Kentucky, which is incorporating the Louisville area. And we have our own respective land development code. And this land development code is, I believe it's 300 or 400 pages long. And it incorporates and explains all the zoning classifications, what uses fall into those zoning classifications. It talks about, different things pertaining to what's acceptable and what's not acceptable based on configuration of the development. So a lot of information, it's densely packed. And a lot of times I'm having to go through this document and filter through to identify what I need to find in order to make a decision or help one of my clients make a decision on a space. So to kind of streamline this process, what I've been able to do is, first off, I created my own custom GPT, which in this case, I named Commercial Brokerage Assistant. Creating your own GPT, I can show you in a separate video. It's actually a very simple process. If you guys haven't done so already, I would highly encourage you guys to do that. But what we're going to go ahead and do now is we're going to show you how to add to the knowledge base of this GPT so that you can do a search on, specifically for the documentation that you've created. So when you're configuring your GPT, it's going to prompt you to fill in a lot of this information on the left over here. So you can see name, description, instructions. This is something I came up with to kind of teach it how to interact with me and other people who are going to be using the model going forward. And so there's a tab called Knowledge that you can upload PDFs to. You can upload other information that you find pertinent that's going to be valuable for you on your day-to-day. I had a review document or a review book for my CCIM that I uploaded to kind of give me the models and everything I need to, that's pertinent to CCIM and that I can incorporate within the model. And also I uploaded the land development code for Jefferson County, which is the municipality that I'm involved in as well. Another thing to consider on the additional settings is to not share the data with the broader model, because with a lot of these GPTs, we're working with some sensitive information and copyrighted information. So we don't want to necessarily open it up to the model such that it becomes part of the corpus of data for the broader model. So you want to make sure it's isolated to your own GPT. But as you can see here, I uploaded the land development code document to my GPT so that I can then reference it within the conversations that I have with it. So as an example, let's go ahead and go back to my GPT. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and prompt my GPT to tell me what uses fall under the C2 zoning classification. As you can see, it's searching its knowledge base. So as you can see here, so it's referencing C2 zoning classification allows all uses permitted under C1 in the commercial district, along with several other additional uses specific to C2 zoning. Permitted uses in C2 include, and it gives you all the different uses, and specific information pertaining to those uses. So it says microbrewing and micro distilleries, for example, but the production indoors can't be more than 5,000 square feet. So it's very specific. It just you can't have a broad, classification for that particular use. So it does give you that type of information, and I can prompt it for all different types of things, right? I could say what falls under C1, for example, because with C2, it's a higher retail classification. So everything under C2 may mean that you have these auto related and other uses, but then underneath that, you can also have uses that fall under C1, right? The C2 is a higher zoning, so anything that falls under C1 also can work in C2 as well. So you may prompt it to ask something like this, and it's going to give you the same thing. So this is beneficial because it allows you to search for information that will make it easier for you to then advise your clients on what they should be doing. So let's take an example where you're working with a daycare client, and I could say I'm working with a daycare client who is looking for space in Jefferson County. What zonings would this business be able to operate under? Let's see what it gives us. Okay. Interesting. So it says here, for example, it can operate in a residential zoning district, but it's going to require a conditional use permit, which is correct. That is 100% true. Planned development districts. So these are other ones where it can actually fall under. But again, these districts allow childcare centers with the conditional use permit, similar to residential zonings. Then you start getting into the commercial zonings where a CUP is not required. So it does a really good job of highlighting the things you're going to need depending on the zoning classification that you fall under. So as you're doing your searches on, your local MLS or whatever your other means of identifying property are, you can do this quick search, and now it streamlines the process of you narrowing down your focus on the properties that are actually going to fall in line with what you need to do on a day-to-day. So hopefully you gain some value from this video. When I started incorporating this into my day-to-day, it saved me a ton of time. So I'm hopeful that you can kind of achieve a similar type of time savings on your all's end. If you guys like this channel, please like and subscribe. It does make a difference in our ability to reach a broader audience. And obviously, we greatly appreciate the support. And if you yourself are looking for representation here in Louisville, Kentucky, and its surrounding areas, even in Southern Indiana, we've done deals in Ohio, we've done deals as a brokerage in other states as well, please give me a call. My number is 502-536-7315, or you can reach me via email at raphael@crescentigroup.com. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.